Welcome to the Bare Metal Cyber CCISO Prepcast. This series helps you prepare for the exam with focused explanations and practical context. The day before the CCISO exam should be spent focusing on calm, structured revision. Rather than cramming new material, candidates should prioritize reinforcing key concepts and reviewing their high-impact notes. It is helpful to revisit summary sheets, practice scenarios, or flashcards created during earlier study phases. A simple and practical checklist can ensure that essential tasks are not overlooked. This includes charging necessary devices, printing identification documents, and reviewing exam instructions from ECC Council. Mentally preparing for the exam is just as important. Gentle routines like reviewing without pressure, visualizing success, and limiting exposure to distractions can help reduce anxiety. Adequate rest the night before is vital. Candidates should also ensure proper hydration and eat balanced meals to support focus and clarity. Finally, confirming all exam logistics such as login credentials, location directions, or check-in times helps reduce uncertainty and stress on exam day. On the morning of the exam, arriving early is one of the best ways to avoid last-minute stress. Whether taking the test at a center or through remote proctoring, planning to be ready at least 30 minutes before the scheduled start is ideal. Having proper identity documents ready is essential, as ECC Council requires specific forms of government-issued ID. For in-person tests, knowing where to park and how to reach the testing center helps prevent delays. If any issues do arise, such as traffic or technical setbacks, it is important to communicate quickly with the testing provider using the contact information provided in the confirmation email. Understanding the testing center's policies ahead of time, such as rules on breaks, personal items, and permitted materials, prevents unnecessary surprises. Being prepared to resolve any registration or check-in issues calmly ensures the process continues smoothly and sets the tone for a focused exam session. Familiarity with the testing environment contributes significantly to exam performance. Candidates should understand the layout of a typical testing center or the remote interface if taking the exam online. Knowing where personal items must be stored, how breaks are managed, and how proctors communicate helps reduce distractions. Once seated, effective use of the allocated workspace makes a difference. Organize materials allowed by the test rules in a way that supports concentration. Managing small distractions is important, especially in shared spaces where noise or movement may occur. Candidates should make full use of permitted exam resources such as on-screen calculators, noteboards, or scratch paper, depending on the format. Adapting quickly to the space, whether adjusting a chair, reducing screen glare, or simply settling into the environment, supports better focus and comfort throughout the session. Time management is essential on the CISO exam. With 150 questions to complete in 2.5 hours, candidates should spend no more than about 1 minute per question on average. However, some questions, especially those based on lengthy scenarios, may require more time, while others can be answered more quickly. Maintaining a steady pace is key. Candidates should avoid spending too much time on any one item, and instead aim to progress through the exam steadily, marking harder questions for later review. Setting mental checkpoints, such as completing a certain number of questions every 30 minutes, helps track progress and adjust pacing if needed. If a difficult question arises, moving on and returning later prevents unnecessary time loss. Strong time management allows room for review and supports better overall performance. For more cyber-related content and books, please check out cyberauthor.me. Also, there are other podcasts on cybersecurity and more at baremetalcyber.com. Understanding how to analyze questions quickly can save valuable minutes. Many questions on the CISO exam are designed with a specific intent, such as testing decision-making, risk prioritization, or strategic understanding. Quickly identifying what the question is really asking is crucial. For scenario-based questions, scanning the situation first, then focusing on the key detail or decision point helps reduce cognitive overload. Candidates should look for trigger phrases that suggest what kind of response is required, for example, most appropriate, initial step, or best strategic approach. Learning to recognize common question patterns enables faster interpretation, avoiding misinterpretations, such as reading too quickly or focusing on the wrong details. protects against wasted time and missed points. Precision in understanding the question focus is a skill that pays off throughout the entire exam. Answering questions strategically helps balance speed with accuracy. When faced with similar-looking answer choices, candidates should identify subtle distinctions and eliminate those that are clearly incorrect. Efficient use of the mark and review feature allows uncertain questions to be flagged without interrupting flow. Elimination techniques work well for narrowing down options and boosting confidence. Choosing an answer, even if uncertain, is better than leaving it blank, especially when time is tight. Balancing speed and accuracy means being decisive when possible, but also knowing when to slow down briefly for more complex items. As the exam progresses, candidates may adjust their strategies. For example, choosing to skip longer questions initially and return with remaining time. These adaptations support momentum while reducing anxiety during the test. Mental fatigue can impact exam performance if not managed. Recognizing early signs, such as slower thinking or reduced concentration, is the first step to regaining focus. Quick mental refresh techniques include stretching, deep breathing, or simply pausing for a few seconds between sections. Maintaining concentration over the full duration of the exam involves pacing both mentally and physically. Candidates should avoid burning out early by staying calm, maintaining a steady rhythm, and managing cognitive energy wisely. Balancing thoroughness with endurance means being attentive without overthinking each answer. Mental clarity under time pressure is best preserved through practice, routine, and thoughtful time use throughout the test. Stress and anxiety are common during high-stakes exams, but manageable with simple techniques. Controlled breathing, such as inhaling slowly for 4 seconds and exhaling for 6, can lower stress levels almost immediately. Mindfulness practices like grounding oneself by focusing on physical sensations such as the feel of the chair or contact with the desk can restore a sense of presence and control. Avoiding negative thought patterns like assuming failure or overreacting to tough questions supports emotional stability. Confidence can be reinforced with self-reminders about preparation and capability. Maintaining a composed mindset means approaching each question with fresh attention, not carrying stress forward from previous items. Emotional balance improves decision-making and resilience throughout the exam. Mid-exam reviews, when managed wisely, are a valuable use of time. Candidates should leave a buffer of 15 to 20 minutes at the end of the session for reviewing marked questions. During review, priority should be given to questions that were flagged as difficult or those from high-weight domains. While reviewing, it is important to avoid second-guessing responses that were confidently chosen the first time. Focus instead on answers that had low confidence or uncertainty. If additional insight is gained during the exam, apply it strategically during review. Efficient reassessment includes checking for reading errors, revisiting key scenario details, and confirming alignment with the question intent. A smart review ensures that no key topic is missed and that the final answers reflect the best possible judgment. In the final minutes of the exam, confirming that all answers are saved and submitted properly is essential. Candidates should not rush through the final screen, but take time to ensure that nothing is incomplete. If time remains after review, it can be used to revisit one or two of the most complex questions for a last round of careful thought. Immediately after submission, mental decompression is important. Candidates should step away, hydrate, and allow the brain to relax before analyzing how they performed. Practical steps following the exam include saving confirmation details, checking for follow-up emails, and understanding when score reports will be available. EC Council typically provides score reporting timelines in the exam instructions. Knowing what to expect helps reduce post-exam anxiety and allows candidates to plan their next steps confidently. Thanks for joining us for this episode of the Bare Metal Cyber CISO Prepcast. For more episodes, tools, and study support, visit us at baremetalcyber.com.